Debilitated Jupiter. According to Vedic Jyotish, Jupiter is said to be debilitated in a horoscope when it is placed in the sign of Capricorn, which in simple words means that Jupiter becomes weakest when placed in Capricorn compared to its placement in all the other signs. A debilitated Jupiter is associated with many bad things by many astrologers, and it is believed by a number of astrologers that a debilitated Jupiter always works negatively in a horoscope, and it brings bad results for the native, which is not the case in actual practice, and a debilitated Jupiter can work positively as well as negatively in a horoscope depending upon the other deciding factors and overall tone of the horoscope. The word debilitated simply tells us about the weakness of Jupiter in a horoscope, and it does not relate to the nature of the Jupiter in most of horoscopes, and accordingly a debilitated Jupiter placed in different houses of a horoscope can give benefic as well as malefic results depending upon the nature of the Jupiter as well as the overall tone of the horoscope. In this article, we will discuss some of these benefic as well as malefic effects which can be experienced when a debilitated Jupiter is placed in different houses of a horoscope. Debilitated Jupiter in first house of horoscope. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in first house of a horoscope or kundali can render a very strong character and personality to the native, and the natives under the strong influence of this placement of benefic Jupiter are seen successful in professional spheres like army, police force, sports persons, fitness trainers, coaches, and other such kind of people, and many people under this benefic influence lead their life by example, which means that such natives usually make their careers by virtue of their own hard work and efforts, and they do not like to get success as inheritance or gift. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in first house of a horoscope can also produce successful businessmen who again are likely to rise by virtue of their own skills, calculative nature, perseverance, discipline, and other qualities instead of owning a well-settled business by means of inheritance. On the other hand, a malefic debilitated Jupiter can cause serious problems in the married life of the native, and accordingly the natives under the strong influence of this malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter can face various kinds of troubles in their marriage, which usually arise due to serious compatibility issues between the two partners. A malefic debilitated Jupiter in first house of a horoscope can affect the religious and spiritual faiths of the native in an adverse way, and as a result, some natives under the strong influence of this malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter may not believe in religion, spirituality, or even God. A malefic debilitated Jupiter in first house of a horoscope can also cause problems in the professional sphere of the native, and such a malefic placement of Jupiter can afflict the native with some serious physical disease which can trouble the native for a very long period of time, and which can damage a limb or organ of native's body. Debilitated Jupiter in second house of horoscope. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in second house of a horoscope can bless the native with professional success, wealth, and a life full of luxuries, and the natives under the strong influence of such a benefic placement of debilitated Jupiter are likely to be born in rich and influential families, and such natives start enjoying the luxuries of their life right from their birth. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in second house of a horoscope can also bless the native with a good marriage, and such natives are likely to get understanding life partners who provide more strength to these natives, and as a result, the social status of the natives under this benefic influence of debilitated Jupiter rises after marriage. Such a benefic placement of debilitated Jupiter in second house can also bless the native with name, fame, and a position of power with some government body or some private organization. On the other hand, a malefic debilitated Jupiter in second house of a horoscope can trouble the native on account of health problems and diseases which may be serious. In some cases, some natives under the strong influence of such a malefic debilitated Jupiter are born with some health problem or disease which usually keeps on disturbing them throughout their lives, whereas some other natives suffering from this malefic influence of debilitated Jupiter develop some permanent disease in the middle years of their lives. A malefic debilitated Jupiter in second house of Horoscope can also cause problems in married life of the native and some natives under the strong influence of this malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter may get addicted to excessive drinking, drugs, womanizing, and other such vices which can make the native suffer losses on account of finances, relationships, and health. Debilitated Jupiter in third house of horoscope. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in third house of a horoscope or kundali can give good to very good results regarding the professional sphere of the native, and accordingly the natives under the strong influence of this benefic placement of debilitated Jupiter are seen successful in various kinds of professions like teachers, bankers, people working with financial institutions, advisors, managers, and other such kind of people. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in third house of a horoscope can also give very good understanding of supernatural and paranormal to the native, and accordingly some natives under the strong influence of this placement can become astrologers, numerologists, psychics, magicians, spiritual healers, and other such kind of professionals. Such a benefic influence of debilitated Jupiter can also bless the native with a position of power and authority with government, and some natives under this kind of influence can become officers with government, ministers, members of parliament, members of assemblies, and other such kind of people. On the other hand, a malefic debilitated Jupiter in third house of a horoscope can cause problems in married life of the native, and accordingly some natives under the strong influence of this malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter may have to go through painful experiences in their married life. Such a malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter can also cause differences between the native and his brothers, sisters, or friends, and some natives under the strong influence of such a malefic influence of debilitated Jupiter may have to part with their brother or sister. A malefic debilitated Jupiter in third house of a horoscope can also cause some financial concerns for the native which may arise due to bad spending habits of the native, and this placement can also cause some health-related issues. Debilitated Jupiter in fourth house of horoscope. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in fourth house of a horoscope or kundali can give good results regarding the professional success and financial prosperity of the native, and the natives under the strong influence of such a benefic debilitated Jupiter are likely to do good or very good in their professions. The natives under this kind of benefic influence of debilitated Jupiter usually do good when working in groups rather than working alone. And as a result, the professional success for these natives is likely to come from networking, and group work and social skills is one more thing that a benefic debilitated Jupiter in fourth house of a horoscope can render to the natives under its strong influence. On the other hand, a malefic debilitated Jupiter in fourth house of a horoscope can cause serious problems in the married life of the native, and the natives under the strong influence of such a malefic debilitated Jupiter are likely to undergo very disturbing and shocking experiences in their married lives, which may include serious arguments, exchange of bad words, physical violence, litigations, divorce, and many other things. A malefic debilitated Jupiter in fourth house of a horoscope can also give bad results regarding the profession of the native, and the natives under such influence of debilitated Jupiter may have to face frequent job changes. They may have to remain jobless for a long period of time more than once in their lives, or they may have to face losses through business. Such a malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter in fourth house of a horoscope can also cause loss of wealth and property through thefts, accidents, litigations, and court decisions, and accordingly the natives under the strong influence of this kind of malefic influence of debilitated Jupiter may have to face disputes and litigations related to their properties, thefts in their residential houses, and loss of property through accidents. Debilitated Jupiter in fifth house of horoscope. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in fifth house of a horoscope or kundali can give very good results regarding the professional success and financial prosperity of the native, and the natives under the strong influence of this benefic placement of debilitated Jupiter can become successful as writers, actors, designers, architects, interior decorators, and many other kinds of professional who primarily deal in professional spheres which require creative abilities. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in 5th house can also bless the native with a beautiful and loving wife, and most of the natives under the strong influence of such a benefic placement of Jupiter tend to do a love marriage or a marriage of their own choice instead of going for an arranged marriage. Such a benefic placement of debilitated Jupiter can also render name, fame, and fortune to the native, which usually comes due to recognition of his creative abilities or due to his professional success. On the other hand, a malefic debilitated Jupiter in 5th house of a horoscope can cause problems in the marriage and married life of the native and some natives under a strong influence of this placement of debilitated Jupiter may have to perform an abnormal marriage, which means that they may have to perform their marriage against the wish of their parents, and they may have to leave the house of their parents in order to perform such a marriage, whereas some other natives under this kind of malefic influence may have to face problems in their married lives, and though this placement alone generally does not break a marriage, but it is still capable of causing serious problems and dramas in the married life. Such a malefic influence of debilitated Jupiter in 5th house of a horoscope can also cause financial problems for the native, and this placement can also trouble the native with some health-related problems, which can be psychological problems in many such cases. Debilitated Jupiter in 6th house of horoscope. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in 6th house of a horoscope can give good results regarding the profession of the native, and the natives under the strong influence of this benefic influence of debilitated Jupiter are likely to succeed as police officers, army officers, doctors, lawyers, engineers, managers, or people associated with managerial jobs and many other kinds of professionals. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in 6th house of a horoscope can also bless the native with interest, knowledge, and progress in the field of paranormal and occult, and accordingly some natives under such influence of debilitated Jupiter can be seen practicing as astrologers, psychics, black magicians, mediums, and other people of this kind. On the other hand, a malefic debilitated Jupiter in 6th house of a horoscope can make the native engage in illegal or immoral activities, and such a native may have to face litigations, defame of loss of reputation, and in some extreme cases, the native under the strong influence of this malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter may have to spend a few years in jail. Such a malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter in 6th house of a horoscope can also cause problems in married life of the native, and some natives under the strong influence of this malefic influence of Jupiter may have to face long court cases and some jail time due to complaints filed by the spouse of the native. Natives under the influence of such a malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter are also likely to face problems related to their love life, and 1 or 2 broken love affairs or betrayal by their lover is a common thing with this kind of malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter in 6th house of a horoscope. Debilitated Jupiter in 7th house of horoscope. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in 7th house of a horoscope or kundali can bless the native with a good marriage and married life, and the natives under such a benefic influence of debilitated Jupiter are seen marrying at proper ages, and they are also seen living their married lives happily, and some of these natives see a rise in fortune and increased success in profession after their marriage, as a benefic debilitated Jupiter in 7th house of a horoscope has a tendency to increase the luck and status of the native after his marriage. Such a benefic placement of debilitated Jupiter can also render very good financial gains to the native, and the natives under the strong influence of such a benefic influence of debilitated Jupiter are likely to achieve good results in their professions, and some of these natives can make big profit through their own business. On the other hand, a malefic debilitated Jupiter in 7th house of a horoscope can cause some of the most serious problems in the married life of the native, and some natives under the strong influence of this malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter may have to go through prolonged court cases, much social drama, division of their property as a result of settlement towards marriage, physical violence, social disgrace, and many other similar kind of things. A very strong malefic influence of debilitated Jupiter in 7th house of a horoscope can break 1, 2, 3, or even more than 3 marriages of the native, and such a malefic placement almost denies the marital pleasures to the native, and for this reason, some natives under strong influence of such a malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter may choose to remain single after a couple of very badly broken marriages. A malefic debilitated Jupiter in 7th house of a horoscope usually gives at least one permanent disease to the native, which can trouble the native for a big part of his life, and which in the end can claim his life. And such a malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter can also bring very bad results for financial condition of the native. Debilitated Jupiter in 8th house of horoscope. A malefic debilitated Jupiter placed in 8th house of a horoscope or kundali can give very good results regarding the income of the native, and some natives under the strong influence of such a benefic placement of debilitated Jupiter keep on profiting from the sources which do not directly relate to their profession, and this state of affairs can continue for their entire life. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in 8th house of a horoscope can bless the native with means of easy income, and as a result the natives under the strong influence of a benefic debilitated Jupiter in 8th house are seen engaged in professional spheres which do not involve much physical work and which considered as comparatively comfortable jobs. The placement of a benefic debilitated Jupiter in 8th house of a horoscope can also bless the native with a post of power and authority with government when this fact is supported by the overall horoscope of the native in question. On the other hand, a malefic debilitated Jupiter in 8th house of a horoscope can cause serious problems in the married life of the native, and the natives under this kind of malefic influence of debilitated Jupiter can face altogether different kinds of problems in their marriages. For example, some natives under the strong influence of this malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter may get married to a physically disabled person, or their spouse may become physically disabled soon after marriage, whereas some other natives suffering from this malefic placement can get married to a mentally abnormal person, or such a person may start experiencing psychological disorders after marriage. Such a malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter in 8th house of horoscope usually indicates karmic debt of native's wife towards native, which the native is supposed to pay in this life by serving a physically or mentally disabled wife. Such a malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter generally gives at least one permanent disease to the native, which usually shows up after 30 years of native's life, and which stays permanently with native. Debilitated Jupiter in 9th house of horoscope. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in 9th house of a horoscope or kundali can render very good financial gains and professional success to the native, and the natives under the strong influence of this benefic placement of debilitated Jupiter are seen doing very well in their professions, and some of these natives can make very good money from some business which may not be their permanent profession, but which can come for small period of time, and which can give good or very good amount of profit to the native. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in 9th house of a horoscope can also give very good results regarding the spiritual progress of the native, and some of these natives may be seen practicing in some spiritual faith or working for some religious of spiritual organization. Such a benefic placement of debilitated Jupiter in 9th house of a horoscope can also bless the native with gains from stock markets and other such kind of spheres, where the quantum of these gains will depend on the overall tone of the horoscope of the native. On the other hand, a malefic debilitated Jupiter in 9th house of a horoscope can give bad or very bad results for the professional sphere of the native, and accordingly the natives under the strong influence of this malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter are likely to see delays, losses, and setbacks in their professions. A malefic debilitated in 9th house of a horoscope can give very bad results regarding the married life of the native, and some natives under such a malefic influence may have to face many problems in their married life. A malefic debilitated Jupiter in 9th house of a horoscope can also form a Pitradosh in the horoscope, which can give different kind of bad results in different Horoscopes depending upon the overall nature of these horoscopes. Debilitated Jupiter in 10th house of a horoscope. A benefic debilitated Jupiter placed in 10th house of a horoscope can give very good results regarding the professional success of the native and many natives under the strong influence of this benefic debilitated Jupiter run the business of their father, or they choose the same profession as their father used to engage in. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in 9th house of a horoscope can also take a native to foreign land, and accordingly many natives under the strong influence of this benefic placement of debilitated Jupiter are seen settling in foreign countries on the basis of their professions, and those such natives are not likely to settle there permanently, but they can still spend many years of their lives in foreign countries. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in 10th house of a horoscope can also render name and fame to the native under its strong influence, and such a benefic placement of debilitated Jupiter can also bless the native with a position of power and authority with some government organization, or it can render a post of authority and status in some big private organization. On the other hand, a malefic debilitated Jupiter in 10th house of a horoscope can afflict the native with criminal tendencies, and accordingly, some natives under the strong influence of this malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter can engage in criminal activities, and some of these natives can keep on engaging in illegal activities for a very long period of their lives, and they may have to go to jail for engaging in such activities. A malefic debilitated Jupiter in 10th house of a horoscope can also trouble the native with delays and setbacks in professional sphere, and such a debilitated Jupiter can also bring disgrace and defame to the native. The later part of the lives of natives under the strong influence of this malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter is usually very bad in terms of finances, health, and reputation. Debilitated Jupiter in 11th house of horoscope. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in 11th house of a horoscope can give very good results regarding the professional success and financial prosperity of the native, and the natives under this benefic influence of debilitated Jupiter are seen rising in their lives due to their own efforts and luck, which means that the natives under this kind of influence of debilitated Jupiter usually do not inherit a business or wealth from their father or someone else, unless this fact is contradicted by some other aspects of the horoscope, and such natives are self-made people who have the ability to start from a scratch and go to the top of a mountain. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in 11th house of a horoscope can render qualities like wisdom, keen business sense, sound judgment, benevolent nature, and many other good qualities, and accordingly these natives can rise in their lives by virtue of these qualities. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in 11th house of a horoscope can also render name and fame to the native, and the natives under the strong influence of this benefic placement of debilitated Jupiter can also get a position of status and authority with government, and most of such natives are seen practicing as judges, administrators, or other such people who have to use their sense of judgment in day-to-day work. On the other hand, a malefic debilitated Jupiter in 11th house of a horoscope can hinder the professional progress of the native, and accordingly the natives under the strong influence of such a malefic placement of Jupiter may experience delays, setbacks, and frequent changes in their professions, and some natives under this influence are seen starting their careers late in their lives. A malefic debilitated Jupiter in 11th house of a horoscope can also create problems in married life of the native, and such a malefic debilitated Jupiter can also trouble the native with one or more than one permanent health issue or disease, and though the diseases given by this malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter are not likely to be fatal, but they can keep on bothering the native for a very long period of his life. Debilitated Jupiter in 12th house of horoscope. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in 12th house of a horoscope or Kundali can take the native to foreign lands for settlement on professional basis, and some natives under the strong influence of this benefic debilitated Jupiter are seen going to foreign countries early in their lives and settling there on professional basis, whereas some other natives under this kind of influence may not go to foreign countries, but their profession or source of income comes from the professions related to foreign countries, and hence it can be said that the natives, with this kind of benefic placement of debilitated Jupiter, are likely to benefit from foreign countries, in one way or the other. A benefic debilitated Jupiter in 12th house of a horoscope can also give very good spiritual progress to the native, and some natives, under the strong influence of this benefic placement, can experience the supernatural and paranormal worlds and phenomenon, and accordingly these natives can be very highly advanced in such fields, though such natives generally tend to hide themselves. On the other hand, a malefic debilitated Jupiter in 12th house of a horoscope can cause serious financial problems for the native, which are usually caused due to poor financial management, and many natives under the strong influence of this malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter are seen spending much more than their income, which can lead them into financial crisis many times in their lives. I have seen some horoscopes with this kind of placement of debilitated Jupiter where natives earn millions, and even more than millions in a very short period of time due to some other good yogas in their horoscope, but such natives were not able to save anything out of those multi-millions, and soon after they had to face financial crisis due to poor financial management. Hence, this malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter has a strong tendency to eat up all the income of the native under its strong influence. A malefic debilitated Jupiter in 12th house of a horoscope can also trouble the native with problems related to married life, problems related to family and family affairs, problems related to reputation and status, and this malefic placement of debilitated Jupiter can also give one or more than one permanent diseases to the native under its influence. Hence, the placement of a debilitated Jupiter in all the houses of a horoscope can bless the native with benefic things, and it can also bless the native with malefic things depending upon the nature of such debilitated Jupiter and depending upon the overall horoscope of the native. Therefore, no conclusion should be made about the malefic nature of the Jupiter merely by virtue of its debilitation, and no conclusion should also be made about the malefic nature of the Jupiter merely by virtue of its placement in some particular houses of a horoscope. A thorough study of the Jupiter, as well as the entire horoscope, is necessary in order to calculate the final outcomes of the placement of a debilitated Jupiter in a particular house of a horoscope.